Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Time again for another knife of the day. This is a different one. I have a couple of Spydercos on the side, and I've had a number of newer knives from Strider, Hinderer, and some other makers that I've had just held on the side. And I thought I'd talk about some of those knives right now. After I go through this knife, I do want to talk about some issues with you guys. So if you don't want to hear that after I'm done with the knife, get out of there. Most of you do anyway. It's probably for the more hardcore people, okay? But what I want to do is talk about this knife and my renewed love for Strider knives. The knife of the day is the Strider DC, like Washington, D.C. The Strider DC. Now, I know in the knife world, there are people who just hate mixed Strider. I don't know why. I honestly don't care. I just like his knives. When I started collecting, 5 years ago, what I wanted was my three special knives were Hinderer, Strider, and Chris Reeve. Chris Reeve was the easiest to get. The other two were hard to get. You'd have to get them on the secondary market. You'd overpay for them, etc., etc. Striders are still that way. Hinderers are that way as well. They're just hard to find and get. And usually you have to go like on the secondary market or some other place, and they are expensive. So I have rediscovered Strider, and I am having a great time with them. I have discovered three Striders I never heard of before, and I've purchased them. So you'll see those on this channel. I'm going to start with this one. Now let's talk a little bit about Strider first. I am not a Strider expert, okay? But let me talk about the types that we're usually used to from Strider. This is a Strider SMF, about 3.9-inch blade. It's the bigger Strider, heavy use, forward choil, deep traction with them, just real good. These are the bigger ones. Now I'm going to tell you the three types that you usually see around. That's the SMF. Then there's the SNG. Same kind of model, but this is the smaller one. 3.5 inches. Again, forward choil, jimping, deep jimping, but smaller. Again, there are other models of Striders that have come and gone, but these are the ones that we're used to. Okay? And then it's the little bitty PT that are hard to find. I found two of them just recently. I mean, this year. But this is a real small knife. I love real small knives. I really do. 2.7 inches. And you see, and that's really the family that you usually hear of when you hear about Striders. The three knives that I bought, I'm not going to go over all three in this one because I think each of them deserve their own video. But this new knife has just blown my mind. This DC. So, I never heard of it until a month ago. I never heard of the other three knives until a month ago. This knife has CTS XHP steel, which I really like. Tool steel. They list it as a drop point and spear point. But you can see the flat. You can see the swedge going to the point. The belly on the bottom. Again, I have always told you guys I am not a knife expert. I'm just a guy. I call it a collector. I just love knives. This is their Tiger Stripe blade. And that is also something that you're used to. You see, the SNG has a Tiger Stripe, so they do a lot of Tiger Stripe. The blade with the belly, forward choil. I love forward choils, but it's the kind of cutting I do. I don't do a lot of cutting where, hardcore cutting. By the way, Striders are made for hardcore knife working. Okay, those are heavy duty knives. And so is this one. Just a super nice knife. Feels great in the hand. And all three of these go away from this regular pattern, you see? The squared off pattern of the usual three. Look at the pivot. See-through pivot. Now maybe someone else has something on YouTube that can break this down, take it apart, give you more than what I know. All I know, and I'm sorry, I get criticized. These people who own 4 knives but are experts on every knife criticize me a lot. But I tell you guys, I just enjoy the knives. I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm criticized for not knowing everything. But I love the pivot. And this titanium flame finish is just exceptional. Smooth, rounded off on all sides. Man, it fits nice in my hand. It really does. See-through construction with the standoffs, solid. I'm so used to Spydercos and others skeletonizing inside to save weight. No, Strider is not skeletonizing. I mean, this little knife, 3.2 inch blade, okay? 7.7 inches total. So a 3.2 inch blade, 7.7 inches total. It's a 6.3 ounce knife. That's kind of heavy for this size knife. But I'll tell you, it doesn't feel that heavy. And it's all on the bottom, on this handle, with these solid titanium scales, these big scales. You feel it in your hand. But have you ever had a knife that has a little bit of heft? Doesn't overpower you? Now, in your pocket, you feel it, right? But when it's in your hand, it kind of gives you security. That's what this does for me. It is a frame lock with the regular Hinderer clip. The Hinderer clips are not pretty. They aren't, but they're very functional. They don't have an insert. A lot of their knives do. This one doesn't. I really love this knife. I do. The frame lock. Now, this is the thing about the 3 that I'll get. These came straight from the maker. I've bought them from Arizona Custom Knives, and the maker, Mick Strider, sent them to them hot off the presses, okay? And so this will break in. All of the newer knives that I have, they're going to break in. Okay, in a month, this is going to be my smoothest knife. I really like this knife. The knife of the day is the Strider DC, like Washington, D.C. Straight from the maker. Yeah, in 2020. Oh, no jimping. Usually heavy duty jimping, no jimping on this one. Actually, I think all three of the new knives don't have jimping. So from heavy duty jimping to none. I'm okay with that because I'm not a heavy duty knife guy. But I'm so happy to have this one. The new knife, it's the Strider DC. Strider DC. Brand new from Mick Strider. CTS X HP steel. This titanium with the flame finish. The see-through pivot. It's a beautiful knife. It's one of a trio that I have bought over the past 2 months. I just bought one 2 days ago. So I should be getting that early next week. So look out. 3 new Striders, new types of Striders too, will be coming to you. All right, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications. I'm the guy that just loves knives and likes playing with them. All right, I am not an internet expert. There are literally 2,000 plus knife people on YouTube, so enjoy them. Use me if you just want to have a good time with knives, okay? Subscribe, turn on your notifications. Now, before I end this, I'm a positive guy, especially when so many things are negative. I truly am. I'm 61 years old. I'm a grandfather of 5 boys. And I love sharing my knives with you guys. I share them on Instagram. I share them on YouTube. And you guys are so wonderful. Most of the comments are great. I do get them every now and then where people go, look at those knives. He never used those knives. I just want to address he never used those knives. I'm 61. I have over 550 knives right now. I am not keeping 550 knives until I die. I'm going to have my ultimate few. I'm going to have knives that I want to hand down. I have kids and grandkids. I'm not just a young kid with their first job. Okay? So I don't actually use 500 knives. I will tell you this. I have 55 Spyderco inexpensive knives. 55 of the value folders that I use every single day. When I eat a steak, I don't pull out one of my knives. I have a drawer full of steak knives. I have a lot of free knives that people give me that are attached to wine openers, etc. Guys, I get so many boxes. How do you think I open them? I open them with knives. Okay? Stop it. I know some people are just jealous. I get it. Stop it. Just keep this channel positive. Some people don't like when I say, hello, YouTube. That's fine. Fast forward over it. Or stop watching my channel. It's just a downer. When I started this channel, I never responded to people's comments. And the reason was I was working hard and I didn't want to be distracted by some kid in his mother's basement or some guy who just is some guy who just wants to get people upset. Again, most of you guys, 99% of you are so wonderful. I love responding. And then a young lady said, hey, you know, this isn't television. You need to respond. And I have responded since that day. And so you guys know I do respond to you. There's so many things going on, guys, including me getting older and not moving as fast as that I just don't want the negativity. Okay? So what I'm going to, or people go, look at your fat fingers. I can make jokes about my fat fingers. I don't want that. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to eliminate every bad comment. If you don't like that, stop watching me. I'm close to making this a closed Patreon channel and just selling my knives to them, talking to them every day. When I get mail, talking to them. I'm close. I don't want to do that. I just want to get up and have fun talking to you guys. I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you me. There's so many things going on. I want to sell knives. I want to trim my collection. But I don't want to argue with postal workers who are going through stress or stand in line with people who don't wear masks because it's their right. That's great. I'm 61. I'm fat. I'm going to die alone in a hospital. There's so much stuff going on, folks. All right? Keep your eye on the frickin' prize. This is for enjoyment only. It gives me enjoyment to buy knives. It gives me enjoyment to share. I'm just sharing. So keep that. Now I'm going to get a lot of comments and I'm going to erase you guys. I get so many, I'm going to just stop it and just have a private little channel for my grandsons and my kids. All right? And maybe start a Patreon. I don't want to, but maybe that's the easiest thing for people who are interested and give you more day-to-day stuff. So there you go. Too much rambling. I hate doing it. I've put up so many videos without any of that. So please forgive me for this. Plus, most of you have cut off anyway, but for you long timers, I just had to say it because, look, I have a lot of knives that I want to talk to you guys about, and more coming from Spyderco. But when I get ready to, I just sometimes, I'm dealing with so many things that I don't do the knives because I don't want to hear some stupid person acting stupid. Okay? And I know that's rude to say stupid, but why ruin everyone's day? Just don't do it, please. So I apologize. By the way, 99% of you, all love. I respect all of you. I love all the comments and how you make this better. And talk about the knives and add information. But man, in a bad day, one bad comment that's just not useful just gets upsetting. And I know you guys say, well, just forget those folks. You guys do a YouTube for several years, okay? And see how you guys feel about it. So that's it. Last time I give them any credit for anything, I'm not going to do this again. But I wanted you guys to know where I am. I love you all. I really do hope you take care of yourselves. I'm trying my best to take care of me. And I hope you enjoy these knives. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.